Good morning and welcome to your Wednesday Wisdom Wake Up with Wendy. Today is July 3rd, and in honor of Independence Day tomorrow, I wanted to share some powerful wisdom from my mentor and the CEO of the Ford Institute for Transformational Training, Kelly Casso. Happy Independence Day, the day we celebrate our inalienable rights to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and freedom. Now, of course, there are many ways to achieve living life to the fullest, feeling liberated and attaining happiness, but I can promise you that if you truly want to let freedom ring, then you must foster emotional independence. Emotional independence is being able to stand in your power and to make choices based on what is in your highest, versus as a reaction to external circumstances. And the crazy thing is that even though inalienable rights are defined as those that cannot be surrendered, transferred, given away to, or revoked by another, the fact is that most of us give away our power when it comes to emotional independence and let outside sources rob us of our joy, equilibrium, internal knowing, and sense of self. So if your day, mood, or reactions are being controlled by the way your butt or thighs look in your jeans, whether a person you are dating asks you out for Saturday night or texts you the day after you slept together, a disagreement you've had with a family member, someone else's opinion of you, or your desire to numb out and avoid dealing with certain situations, then chances are you need some support in fostering emotional independence. Here are 3 tips to aid you on your path to true freedom. Tip 1, befriend the full spectrum of your emotions. Most of us have a strained relationship with our emotions. We have been trained or trained ourselves not to feel. We have become masters at distancing ourselves from and suppressing our emotions, shutting down, numbing out, keeping busy, and staying in our heads, all so that we don't have to feel what is present. And we don't have to feel what we perceive will be hurtful. In our efforts to protect ourselves from potential pain, we lose access to some of our greatest tools and teachers, our emotions. Our emotions are our greatest guide. Like an all-knowing GPS, they are there to inform us when something feels off or not right for us. Yet the problem is we can't learn from something we refuse to look at. To cultivate emotional independence, we must allow ourselves to feel the full spectrum of our emotions, to use them as learning tools and guides, and to freely express them in healthy and constructive ways. Tip 2, take a U-turn back to yourself. Most of us look at the outer world look to the outer world for love, validation, affirmation, and stability. We are emotionally dependent on others as well as external circumstances to fill our cup, make our day, and inform our sense of self. However, as long as we keep looking outside of ourselves for our answers as well as our self-worth, we will never be free. To foster emotional independence, we must take a U-turn back to ourselves. We must learn to go inward and tap into our truth. We must become self-referred. Self-referral is a way of continually looking to yourself instead of the outer world for approval, answers, and guidance. It empowers you to clear away the voices of society, friends, family, and the people pleaser inside of you that is looking for love and validation so that you can finally connect with your inner wisdom, as well as your likes and wants, and live in your authenticity. Tip 3, step into radical responsibility. To feel safe enough to live in our truth, confident enough to follow our gut, and liberated enough to live authentically, we must be able to trust ourselves. But unfortunately, deep down inside, most of us don't trust ourselves. And why should we? How many times have we said we would speak up and then sat silent? Known the person was not right for us, but stayed in the relationship out of comfort or convenience. Promised ourselves that this week things would be different, only to break that promise to ourselves by Tuesday. We break promises to ourselves all of the time. And it is all of these broken promises that fosters our lack of self-trust and whittles away at our ability to be emotionally independent. To turn the tides on distrust and bolster our sense of emotional independence, we must turn words into action and step into radical responsibility. Radical responsibility means taking 100% responsibility not only for the emotions we are feeling, but also our capacity to listen to, honor, and act upon these emotions. To be emotionally independent, we must be able to count on ourselves, our ability to make and carry out high-level choices and actions, as well as our capability to navigate life in a healthy, effective, and self-honoring way. So this week, I invite you to join me in exploring and celebrating the gift of emotional independence. As Debbie Ford said in her book, Courage, when you have emotional independence, you want for nothing because you have everything. Now for some transformational action steps. 1, befriend the full spectrum of your emotions. Begin a practice of tuning in and connecting with your emotions. A few times each day, make an effort to pause from whatever it is that you're doing and ask yourself, what am I feeling? It may sound odd, but the truth is many people have no idea what they are feeling at any given moment. It takes pausing from what you are doing and turning into your feelings on a consistent basis to get connected to your emotional world. And remember, this exercise is not about doing anything with what you are feeling. For example, if you are feeling sad, nervous, anxious, you don't need to try to fix it. This exercise is just about developing a deep relationship with your emotional world. Step 2, take a U-turn back to yourself. Start noticing how much you give your power away to others. Notice how much you look to others for love, approval, and your answers. When you feel yourself looking to the external world for others, picture yourself taking a U-turn back to yourself. Ask yourself questions like, what is right for me in this situation? Or what is the most loving thing I can do for myself in this moment? Practice tapping into your answers. And step 3, step into radical responsibility. It's time to fortify your muscle of self-trust with action. After asking yourself questions like, is what is right for me in this situation, or what is the most loving thing I can do for myself in this moment, you must act upon what you are hearing. And if you feel called to take back your power and ignite your sense of emotional independence, then Kelly invites you to join her and some of the world's greatest visionaries and manifestors for Global Gathering 2019, the Summer of Infinite Potential, August 23rd through 26th in Phoenix, Arizona. She promises that after 3 days with this amazing group of people, you will feel turned on, lit up, and ready to claim your power, expand your possibilities, and transform your life. But if you can't make it to Phoenix this August, why not declare your own Summer of Self-Love? When you enroll in my Year of Self-Love Journey by July 11th, that's my birthday, you will receive the powerful 5-month Courageous Love Immersion Program for Women, normally $2,100, for free as part of your flexible and affordable life coaching membership at the Way of Truth Sacred Journey portal. Just go to thewayoftruth.live/BYH for details and registration. And do it now while you're thinking about it, because this ridiculously affordable, flexible, and life-changing program goes back to its normal price point of $2,100 on July 12th. So get there by the 11th, and that's a week from tomorrow. And proclaim your emotional independence and dive into the Summer of Self-Love with the Courageous Love Immersion Program for Women, inspired by Debbie Ford's penultimate classic, Courage, Overcoming Fear and Igniting Self-Confidence. And again, write down the link. That's thewayoftruth.live/BYH. This has been your Wednesday Wisdom Wake Up Call with Wendy, and the three keys to emotional freedom. I hope you have a very safe and joyful 4th of July, and grab your Courageous Love Immersion by next week. With love and remembering the way of truth, this is Wendy. Bye for now.